Ryan, you were supposed to sing. That was the agreement. You said you were going to sing the daily jingle since Jay is not here. So I don't
I
know
didn't want
why
to
you
copyright infringe
did.
on Drunk 3P. I wouldn't want to do something like that.
He did threaten to copyright anyone that sings that. Only Jay is apparently allowed to do that. And he says that he has the best attorneys. Him and I guess he got him from Dan Vask. I don't know what's going on with that. But welcome into Geeks and Gamers Daily, a show that, I don't know, if you've been watching this show or Ryan's channel or Friday Night Tights or pretty much anybody in this whole sphere, yesterday's news probably wasn't surprising to you, but imagine only following the mainstream and how the mainstream's been telling you that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has just been just this amazing success that has never had any missteps or any misfires and everything's operating perfectly. And then suddenly, boom, out of nowhere, Variety drops this massive article. And all of a sudden, everything that every YouTuber has been saying, including the down arrow, being featured.
That was like, yeah, it was like a fucking thumbnail.
Yeah, I know.
Like the fact that you had this up arrow, like being lifted up by, you know, Robert Downey Jr. and Spider-Man and Thor and Captain America, and then the down arrow with all these
all
like
the
failing
diversity,
shows like Captain Marvel and
all the
Black Captain
diversity.
America and She-Hulk and shit is really funny.
All the diversity is where it started to go downhill. They literally say it in their thumbnail for their story. So damn good. But yeah, so again, we're going to talk about that because it is pretty interesting. And it does feel, to me, it feels like a house of cards. It feels like it's finally just falling apart. You know what I mean?
It's a Disney thing in general.
Yes.
Like we're now seeing that it's okay. It's acceptable to criticize Disney across all fronts, right? Whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel, whether it's their animated stuff. Like you're starting to see this, or just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that tells you that it's gone so far. It's gotten so bad that it's no longer reasonable for these outlets to shill for Disney anymore.
Yeah.
Like they realize that it's gotten past the point of believability where, yeah, there's still some people that are going to hang on to them, but there's also people that are just looking at the stock price. They're looking at the results and they realize that's so detached from reality that they can't actually get away with reporting these things anymore. So they have to really start revealing what's going on.
Yeah, and the fact that it was such a loaded article of so many different situations. I mean, it wasn't one little thing here. It was a lot. There was a lot in that article to kind of dissect and go through. But ultimately, it points back to just the MCU again. That graphic they made was perfect, where it was just Iron Man just kind of carrying them to the top, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Iron Man's no longer there, it's just a downward trend of social justice, garbage, and politics. And that's kind of where we're at now. And again, the same thing, like you said, the same thing's going on with Disney or with Lucasfilm. We've had the Pixar. Was he the lead director? The creative director? I can't remember. The Pixar,
the CCO
guy,
or COO
yeah.
or something. But yeah, he's like, well, and everybody, it's a very common theme right now. I talked about this maybe last week or something. All of the things that are coming out, a lot of them, they're pointing directly back to, well, you know, Disney Plus. They really wanted us to get all this stuff out for Disney Plus, and are specifically pointing to that announcement from when Bob Chapek was still like in charge, right? Even though Bob Iger was the architect of all this stuff, he's been the architect of Disney Plus. He was still at Disney when this happened, but a lot of people are pointing it to that time frame, right when Disney started to go all in on Disney Plus, which was Bob Chapek's tenure, in an effort to deflect some of the blame away from Bob Iger, at least in my opinion.
Yep. So it's going to be fun to see, you know, how the shills protect this. I even saw like Grace Randolph went live. It was like, MCU is a disaster. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man? Like, and that's why I made the tweet, because I'm like, it looks like the update has gone out now. It's okay. It's finally okay to criticize Disney. So now all the channels, all the sites that were calling us, you know, haters and toxic and all that, now they're all making the same fucking articles and videos that we've been making for years. Now suddenly the NPC update has gone out. Now it's no longer racist or sexist to talk bad about Marvel. Oh my God. It's so funny. It's so funny how this continues to just, yeah, it's literally the NPC update. That's what it is. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun the last few days for sure. Jay's massive moose knuckle says played party animals for the first time last night. It was ridiculous. Had a buddy crashing over to play the autism with me, playing again tonight. Dude, it is a fun game. Even Ryan had fun. I know you did.
It's fun to ruin people's day, right?
Yeah.
So
Just
if I can take happiness away from somebody else, it's fun.
like that, the clip that Krista put out the other day with her and Melanie, like trolling Ripa. Did you see that one, Ryan?
And they both threw him.
Yeah, when they both threw him, but I didn't
And then
realize
you
that
finished him off.
I didn't realize that at that point I didn't realize that's what what's going on when I punched him right here. This shit was hilarious. Ripa's reaction's what makes it though.
What? Fucking Krista and these damn drop kicks, man. You mother, I got double thrown, man. Fuck off, man.
It's so goddamn good. This game's so fucking stupid, and I love it. I can't wait to play it again. So, yeah, Ripa's reactions are funny as hell. Slick Gossip says, we need the J intro in every show, even if it means pre-recording something beforehand. The 199 demands it. I will see what I can do. We'll talk to Jay about that. For KTS to nowhere. Let's see. It's a new member, becomes a new member. Thank you so much. Japanese Demon Lord says Paramount gets no respect or praise for creating the MCU and making it popular. Disney deserves no credit for it. Well, I mean, Disney does deserve some credit for it, but obviously it did start out. But do you know who ultimately deserves credit for it? It's Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau. That's who deserves the most credit, because without Iron Man 1, I don't think the MCU really gets started, at least on the foot that that's the true beginning. Jon Favreau's decision to go and bring Robert Downey Jr. in. It's easy now to think about that as a easy decision. That was not an easy decision at that point in time. Robert Downey Jr. was pretty much washed up. No one was touching him. He had been in a lot of rehab. He was never really that big of a star in the beginning. He was a well-known name, you know what I mean? But it wasn't. This dude was starring in The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen, okay? Like that's what Robert Downey Jr. was doing.
Hey, don't bash the Shaggy Dog, all right?
I'm just saying that's the type of movies he was playing. And now, we see what happens after he's cast as Iron Man. Looking back, you're like, well, yeah, it was obvious. Of course he's Tony Stark. That's not how it was then. So Jon Favreau, as much as I have problems with Jon Favreau and like the fact that he did The Lion King and Jungle Book and all of that, and I don't think he was the savior of Star Wars, he deserves a lot of credit for helping jumpstart the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I mean, even the I think the last one that with the Paramount intro was the Avengers, right? I think the Avengers was made by Paramount but distributed by Disney, if I recall. That was like when the official changeover happened, and everything after that was a Disney production.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Well, I saw someone, yeah, like Robert Downey Jr. was in The Shaggy Dog, like, and I think wasn't he running around like a fucking dog at some point in time in that movie? Wasn't there like a scene where he was running around like a real dog or some shit like that? I can't remember, but yeah, again, the whole point behind that, because I mean, it's like anything else. Like, you remember when Cuba Gooding Jr. was like supposed to be the biggest star ever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was
and then he ended up going and doing like that boat trip movie where it's like a gay cruise or something like that. Wasn't that what it was called?
Got some legal trouble.
But even still, like Cuba Gooding, this is before the legal trouble.
I feel like he felt somebody up in a bar or something.
After I believe
I get him and Don Lemon's story confused. I think Don Lemon wiped his finger on his crotch and then put it in some dude's nose or something.
Well, what I'm saying though is like Cuba Gooding Jr., I believe, like after Jerry Maguire, like Cuba Gooding Jr. was kind of like, the perception was this guy is going to be a megastar. And perception was that he was a megastar. Then he was in Radio. He was in a few, what's the fucking movie with De Niro? You know, damn it, Cookie, give me
Yes,
10 or 12.
Men of Honor. That's
Men
a
of Honor.
fantastic
Men of
movie.
Honor is so good. It's
Master
so
Chief
good.
Carl Brashear.
Yeah. Oh my God, such a good movie. But after that, like, what else? Then he started.
I used to fucking have to hear about Carl Brashear all the fucking time when I was in the military.
And yeah, he was in Pearl Harbor for like what? Like a fucking like he was yeah, that's all. The only reason I remember that is because of the Team America song. You remember that? Pearl Harbor sucked and I miss you. You know that song? Oh my God. Snow Dogs is fantastic, okay? Snow Dogs was great. I don't know if you saw Snow Dogs. See Snow Dogs?
Yeah, it was, I remember it. I don't know if I saw it.
I love
It was a
Snow
sled
Dogs.
team or something,
But
right?
but Boat Trip. You don't remember Boat Trip?
I remember the movie. I
never
don't think I
saw it. I'm
watched
just
it,
saying.
but I remember the
It's like a
advertisements
gay
for it and everything.
cruise movie, isn't it? Am I right about that? Like
I think he didn't know it was going to be a gay cruise or something.
Okay, is that what it is? Okay, so he was going on a cruise. Is that how the story in the movie is? Okay, so he was going on a cruise, but it turned out that's kind of funny, actually.
That's from 2002.
That is kind of funny. Yeah, he ate corn the long way on the cruise. But anyway, my point being is that I think that it's fair to give Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. a lot of credit for the beginning of the MCU and a lot of the success. Iron Man wasn't really a big time superhero. I'd say he's a B class character at that point in time. It wasn't like no one was thinking like he was on the level of Batman and Superman and Spider-Man, and now he is. So at least as Robert Downey Jr. anyway.
It sounds kind of, I'm reading the plot. It's like, hey, things went really wrong. Like his girlfriend dumped him, like when he proposed to her and everything. And they have a friend who went on a cruise, who found like this hot young chick on a cruise. So him and his buddy are like, let's fucking do a cruise. Let's find some women. They realize it's a fucking gay cruise. And so then there's like one hot chick there who's like a dance instructor. And in order to try to get close to her, he pretends to be gay. So that's funny.
That is pretty funny, actually. CJ says, how much longer can MCU nostalgia grift off Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man? What do they have left?
I think that's a good question. And even it was interesting, the response, because one of the things in this article was that there have been discussions about potentially bringing the original Avengers back in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I question what that would be. Like, are we talking about 5-minute cameo? Or are we talking about an entire movie surrounding these people? But the reality is, and I even saw a lot of people talking about this, even if you get, you know, a 20-minute scene with all these original characters, what does that do to fix the MCU? It'd be cool to see, right? But we're in that same area with Star Wars right now, where it's like, okay, you can give us like CGI Han, Luke, and Leia in a moment together for like 5 minutes, but what does that do to fix all the damage that's been done in the path forward for the franchise? I think people kind of feel the same way about that. Not that they wouldn't want to see it, but does that mean that the MCU is saved because you bring these guys back for one moment and then you still have all the same bullshit that you've been dealing with?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like Robert Downey Jr., his Tony Stark had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it was a fantastic arc, an incredible arc. You can't bring that back. It's over. It's the same as like trying to think, oh, we're going to bring Christian Bale's Batman back to save the DC. It's like, no, the story's been told. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the only difference is Bale's Batman's not dead, but it doesn't matter. The story has been told. You know what I mean? Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark is dead in the MCU. He's dead. It's over. It was an amazing, story that they told. Bringing him back, I just don't see how, unless you're rebooting and starting over again, I don't see how this works at all. I don't see how this works in any way, shape, or form. And a cameo, as Ryan just said, fixes nothing. Let me read Project Taco's super chat and then we'll get into it. Over the past couple of weeks, some of the chats have recommended some shitty videos to react to. Some of the Snake Pit recommended bringing forward a chat punishment when they share cringe. Thoughts? I mean, you talking about on the Discord side? I have no problem. I mean, I can look into that. I mean, Cobra Cast, obviously, me reacting to stuff is a little more Cobra Cast and not,
we run a tight ship here, okay?
We run a really tight ship here. Well, the point being is that usually we have panel streams here. Reacting to videos on G&G probably doesn't work as good. Me individually, I can do that. So I could definitely check that out and look into the Discord and see if we can add something if that's what you're talking about. So I will take that into consideration. All right, Ryan, let's talk about Marvel and the failure going on at Disney. And holy crap, man, it's pretty amazing that no one was talking about this for the last several years. This is the first time we've heard about any problems at the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I was told when I make thumbnails like this, it's just racist and sexist and bigotry and things like that. But I guess when Variety does it, it's perfectly acceptable. Crisis at Marvel. Man, if only people had been talking about this for the last 2 or 3 years. Jonathan Majors' backup plans, the Marvel's reshoots, reviving the original Avengers, and more issues revealed. This came out yesterday, and it was a bombshell, an absolute bombshell, a shot across the bow. And look at even Variety's Twitter header. They changed their Twitter header to "Is Marvel in trouble?" This is our cover story. Now, to be fair, they probably do this for all their like big weekly cover stories because they said this was their cover story for the week, like for the magazine. But still, it's crazy to see the header for Variety. Is Marvel in trouble? And they revealed a lot in this thing, a lot. And I know you guys went through a lot of it yesterday, but it goes from mismanagement to problems with specific films to budgets that are out of control to visual effects problems to putting a lot of the responsibility on Kevin Feige for not planning some of this out to them pointing the finger back at Disney and things like that. But there's a couple specific issues that I really wanted to talk about. And we might as well start with what's going to be coming up in about a week, Jeremy. And that is the Marvels. This was one of the big reports that came out of this thing. The Marvels director, Nia DaCosta, reportedly left the film's production during post-production. Now, there's already been some kind of damage control out there from Nia DaCosta's side of camp. The Marvels director, Nia DaCosta, did not leave during post-production. But let's get into exactly what this article says. The Marvels, which opens in theaters November 10th, will struggle to get the ball past the infield, at least by Marvel's outsized standards. The movie, which cost $250 million and sees Brie Larson reprising her role, is tracking open $75 to $80 million. It's actually tracking lower than that.
Like it's about 55 to 60 right now. It might be even lower than
it will likely open lower than that, which might end up making it one of the worst entries ever in the MCU in terms of opening weekend. Directed by Nia DaCosta, The Marvels unites Larson's heroine with 2 superpowered allies, but instead of seamlessly building on the success of Captain Marvel, this move resulted in 4 weeks of reshoots to bring coherence to a tangled storyline. Then eyebrows were raised again when DaCosta began working on another film while The Marvels was still in post-production. The filmmaker moved to London earlier this year to begin prepping for her Tessa Thompson drama Hedda. A rep declined to comment. Quote, if you're directing a $250 million movie, it's kind of weird for the director to leave with a few months to go. Now, I don't think the implication is that she just left the project, right? I think the implication is that she started working on this other project while this was still not finished. That's what I believe the implication is meant to mean. But when you're a director that's not very fucking experienced, okay? The reason she got this is because she's the right type of hire for Marvel. That's why Nia DaCosta got this job.
Yep.
She'd done, I think, 2 movies before this. Then you're given the reins to a $300 million movie. When you're an inexperienced director like that, the idea that you would split your attention while this disaster of a movie was still heavily in editing and post-production, things like that, probably didn't rub people the right way. Just my guess. But what do you think, Jeremy?
Well, I think this is what happens when you hire people based on identity and not on qualifications. And this person, you said they had two films prior to this?
Yeah, a small independent film, and then Candyman, which I think was like a $25 million kind of slasher horror movie for Universal, and then this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. Like I've talked about this. I mean, just on from my personal side of things, like it, I became relatively, I guess, low tier successful on the internet.
Very low tier.
Very low tier around when I in my 40s. When I worked a bunch of terrible jobs over the years, and I became very appreciative for what I've had. And to this day, if it ends tomorrow, I have no regrets, man. It was great, wonderful, and I'm thankful for every single person that supports me, and I'll never get tired of that. Versus you see like these 22-year-olds that's got like fucking 50 million followers, and they cry because their job is too hard, or fucking Tifu says he has to retire from video gaming because streaming video games for 8 hours a day is too fucking hard when he makes $20 million a year, whatever he makes. The point being is that when people actually go through, the hard work and to earn getting opportunities, they're far more thankful for it when there's been a path of work ethic to back it up and you've earned that. When you're just handed something based on your identity because Marvel wants to virtue signal, this is the type of shit you get. Someone's handed a $250 million budget of a film within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the most celebrated universe in the history of movies. And you're walking away when it's in post-production to work on another project because you're not thankful for what you have because you didn't earn it. It was handed to you for diversity quotas. This is the problem with diversity quotas and agenda hiring and things like that. So again, I don't feel sorry for Marvel in this situation at all. You get what you deserve. I don't feel sorry for anything they're doing. And I hope that this woman gets shamed for what she did. And I hope all of them end up looking bad when it's all said and done.
Well, and just a couple months ago when she was giving interviews in the lead up to the Marvels and everything for promotion because they didn't have the actors, she took what some people perceive were kind of shots at Kevin Feige, like, it's a Kevin Feige production. You can put your imprint on a little bit away, but it's not really your movie. She said that she enjoys the opportunity, but she's done working with Marvel, wants to do her own thing now, all of this shit. There have been a lot of, I don't want to say allegations, but a lot of reports that say a lot of these directors have no control over what happens anyway. It is just entirely run by all the execs and the producers and things, and they just bring these directors in to be faces. So who knows what her being involved versus not being involved really mattered, or if they're trying to use her as a scapegoat. But one thing's for sure, all this drama is continuing to unfold. And also, in the middle of this article, we got word that, oh, by the way, the public test screenings they've done for the Marvels have not been very good. Contrary to some of the people out there that wanted to come out and say, there's been nothing wrong. I haven't heard anything bad about the Marvels. No, they did public reviews and people were not impressed by this thing. It's going to be a nightmare just with all the clips that we've seen released. It's been embarrassing that these are the things they're using to promote the movie. Remember that first teaser trailer? The most disliked trailer in the history of the MCU?
Yep.
That is the type of energy that people are bringing, and this movie is going to bomb. No doubt about it.
When does it come out? A week from
today.
You know what, Ryan? Just because I love the F&T crew, I'm going to go see the Marvels so we can all talk about it together. I'm going to go see the Marvels. I'm going to go see it so we can all have fun with this discussion. I haven't seen any of this dog shit. I haven't watched any of these Marvel shows, but this is a celebration right here. This is a celebration. I'm going to do a review of the Marvels. I have not seen Captain Marvel. I've never saw it. I never went to see it. So, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I've missed.
You should watch Captain Marvel before this.
I don't think I can do that. I'll watch Mahler's review again. That's what I'll do. I don't think I can watch Captain Marvel. But I would rather
watch Captain Marvel than Secret Invasion or some of the other shit that's come out on streaming from them lately, to be honest.
And just so we're clear, I could have grifted that one, okay? I could have grifted that one. I could have been like, if we get the, you know what? I'm going to go see it. I've missed a lot of these. So this is a celebration of the demise of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the death of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I am now more motivated than ever to go watch this pile of shit and break it down. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, again, it really is interesting because, God, man, I can't imagine if you just pay attention to mainstream media and you've just been thinking that everything's perfect. And there's a lot of people out there that were like that. They just been paying attention to the mainstream and they just think everything's perfect and everything's wonderful. We have been telling you this just because this is what we believe and what we're seeing. That's it. There is no agenda here. There's no motivation here. If something's good, we tell you. If something's bad, we tell you. Like, it's just that simple. I've enjoyed the majority of the video game movies and television shows that have come out this year. I have. Could I have gotten a lot more traction if I just talk about how horrible and woke they are and all? Yes, they haven't been. Most of the video game stuff that's come out has been really good. And that's just the reality of it. If Marvel made good shit, if Lucasfilm made good shit, if Pixar made good shit, we would tell you they make good stuff. They're not. They haven't been for a long time, and it's getting significantly worse. Now you've got the South Park thing that came out that really did get a lot of people talking. And then Gina Carano, like a true fighter, has picked her spots, and she is hitting hard right now, man. Gina ain't letting up. So it's been a horrific week for Disney. A horrific week, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And this was always going to happen at some point in time. And I don't think that the news is going to slow down. When the Marvels comes out and fails miserably, because it will almost certainly lose money. Wish is another one me and Ryan have talked about. It's got it needs to make about $500 million to break even. And again,
I would say closer to 6, but yeah, until we have an idea of marketing, we're not sure.
And so I don't know what to expect with that movie. I tend to believe that movie's not going to make money, but it's really hard to kind of determine that because we don't have anything prior to it in terms of this particular movie and this IP. We don't really know. But to me, it seems like that movie, based on the trust that so many families have lost with Disney, I just don't see how this movie is going to do anything over $500-600 million. I don't see how that's possible. So it's not going to get any better. And then, as we talked about yesterday, what are we after Wish comes out? It's going to be like a 4 or 5 month gap with no releases in theaters for Disney.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And that's wild.
Like, it is just going to get sparse too, because so many things have been pushed back because of actors or writer strikes or whatever. Dune, is going to come out in March because they decided to push it. But yeah, we're about to see like the real ramifications of Hollywood not working for like 7 or 8 fucking months, right? Whenever the writer strike happened, was that like May or something? I don't even remember at this point.
Yeah.
But then the actors went on strike not that long after. And one of the things that they talked about actually in that Marvel article was they haven't been able to do any type of rewrites or anything like that for a lot of the things in production because of the strike. So they had to sit there knowing they have to course correct on some of these projects, but unable to do any type of rewrites to any of them for months because of the writer's strike.
Yep.
So
gonna be great. Booty125 over on Rumble says, Jeremy, cell reception is non-existent at Trump rallies. Does G&G have press credentials? I know the press gets the secure Wi-Fi info. Might want to get on that, sugar tits. Sugar tits. Yeah, it's not I'm just going as a fan. So I don't have any press credentials or anything like that. There's a lot of people that I know that will be there that I'm certain has press credentials. So I could find out what options are there for me. But if I can't live stream it, then I'll obviously get some footage. What I might do, may have Jay run CobraCast and just have the right side broadcasting stream open or something. We'll see. I'll try to figure that out. But no CobraCast next Wednesday because I will be in Miami. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I've been to a couple of Trump rallies, and I can't remember because I wasn't trying to live stream them. I feel like my reception was really bad, and I anticipate it being really bad here as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's just like
anywhere else
you go to a big event like that, it gets fucking frustrating.
Yep.
Goji the King for 20. Games have been great this year. On my 4th playthrough of Hogwarts Legacy, 4th, so I can complete it through all 4 houses. Oh, that's cool. I still need to finish mine. Thank you, Goji.
Yeah, games have been. I mean, this is there's so many games that I still want to play. Like Mario Wonder is fantastic. You got Mario RPG coming in.
Shits about that game.
Why?
Play as a fucking elephant.
Dude, Mario Wonder is fucking good, dude. It is so good. It is amazing.
Another 2D hop around just says I'm an elephant.
Look at who's in the chat. The best gamer. Did he hear my announcement? Did he hear my announcement?
Who is it?
It's Gary, the best gamer. Did he hear my announcement? Gary, I'm going to see the Marvels. I'm going to see the Marvels. I think this is a celebration. The celebration with the demise of the MCU. So I want to be part of the death of the MCU discussion. I want to be part of the celebration. And I feel that after everything, Bree obviously has moved on. Ryan is the apple of her eye now. And I can accept that. I can accept that. But yes, I'll be seeing the Marvels and talking about it with the Friday Night Tights crew.
Yeah, I'm convinced that that Nintendo's actually just pandering to fatties with the elephants. I think they want to make sure people can feel represented with the elephants in Mario Wonder. So I think Nintendo's gone woke.
Dude, Super Mario Wonder is so fucking good. You're retarded.
That should be your next video. Nintendo goes woke.
No, that's them going based, man. Republican Party, man.
Yeah, you love Republicans, right?
That's right. Yeah, of course. Or Alabama. I can just say they're Alabama Crimson Tide fans.
Crimson Tide fans. Ministry of Wrong Think for 10. Saying Spider-Man 2 isn't woke just because you had fun is like saying Brie Larson isn't insufferable just because she has boobs. They made the entire Spanish version language gender neutral, for fuck's sake. Really? So the Spanish version is entirely gender neutral?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Loki Odin's son for $10 says oof.
Oof.
Thank you. Thank you, Loki Odin's son.
Hey, by the way, so we did Titanfall 2 over on Geeks Gamers Play. All the gaming streams will be happening over there. With the exception, I'll probably still run Party Animals over here for a few more weeks, and then we'll shift everybody over to Play at some point. But all gaming streams over there because I'm making way more content now. And we got to get the algorithm back in check here. The only live streams that I want to have on this channel moving forward are daily and main event. Everything else, gaming stream wise, will be over there on Play. So just keep that in mind. And I think Beardo's playing Resident Evil today, I think, over there.
Finally, the Rumble chat was being weird earlier.
It was being weird. It was all lagged up.
Yeah, it was like you couldn't type at all, but now it is finally fixed. So for people that were wondering about that earlier, it should be good. Crispy Noken scanning in and hail to all the 199. Thank you, Crispy. And then gifts a membership. Thank you. Jay's massive moose knuckle for 199. I was talking to Gary, says Ryan. I was.
Oh, that was so funny, dude. That was so funny. Have you seen Dom Luker? Have you seen what he's doing on Twitter?
You mean in the past like several years or like
in the past few days with the community notes? He's basically
like baiting community notes. Yeah.
I think community notes is bullshit, dude. I'm still on that train. I just think it's bullshit.
You're always on that train until like then it's like
no. Like there's a moment. No. I've said 1,000 times like it's awesome that it roasts the left all the time. It's so funny, but it's bullshit, dude. Like at the end of the day, if Twitter is the public square, I don't need a motherfucker getting into my conversation in the public square to tell me what's right or wrong about my conversation. Let the fucking conversation work itself out. Let the internet take care of itself.
Yeah, but that is the internet taking care of itself. And also you are like you've been so fucking there's so much disinformation, there's so much misinformation, there's so many people grifting on, like you've been talking about that. So the fact that like you've been talking about people on Twitter that it's like worse than ever, that everybody that's spreading misinformation for clicks.
Oh, it is, but I'm okay with it. I'm saying I like it's the Thunderdome, dude. I fucking love how fucking chaotic it is now.
Community notes is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I think 95% of the time or more, it's incredibly helpful.
No, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit because it's someone's opinion that gives context. But once you give some context, then there's more context that has to be given. Then there's more context that has to be given. How about just no context and let people make their fucking post? And if they get ratioed to oblivion, then let them get ratioed. And if they have a good take, then the internet will let you know they had a good take. Like to me, that's the perfect system. Let the internet police its fucking self. Don't let individuals police it with destroying a conversation with a community note. I don't like it.
Yeah, but that is also not the way things work out sometimes. Sometimes you see this shit that's just provably fucking wrong.
Then why do we need a community note if it's provably wrong?
Stop. Let me fucking finish. You have some shit like things that are going on in the Middle East right now that's just provably wrong, right? That is from like a couple years ago or something like that people are spreading as, oh, this just happened. And it will have fucking insane likes. It's not getting ratioed. But then somebody with some fucking actual valid source able to come in there and community note it and let people know that that is absolutely misinformation, regardless of whether it has 150,000 likes or not. That this is a video from 2006 from some training thing. Like that is absolutely a very helpful thing, especially right now with what's going on in the world. And I'm not saying it's 100% valid. I'm not saying it doesn't make mistakes, but I think that that's better than just having something out there and people thinking that it's legitimate.
No, I like the fact that Twitter, like before we didn't have community notes and it was a leftist fucking cesspool of bullshit, okay? Now it's not a leftist cesspool. Probably still would lean a tad bit left overall because people like Alex Jones are still not allowed on the platform. But now that there's more voices there, like just I want it to be a free for all of like let the opinions fly and let people figure it out in the comments, figure it out in the quote tweets, whatever. That to me is a far better system than some like the other day. Who was it? Somebody got community noted. I talked about some Cobra Cast last night. Something to do with Trump. And then the community note said, well, Trump actually attacked DeSantis first. And it's like, that's what the community note said. Well, did the community note mention that Trump said that he had already heard that DeSantis was working behind his back? No. So then you have to give more context to it. And you have to give more context to it. How about no context? That's what I don't like. So anyway.
Yeah, I think the world's full of fucking retarded people. And I think context helps a lot of retarded people.
I think retarded people will always be retarded, and no amount of truth is going to literally these motherfuckers still believe the Marvel Cinematic Universe is operating at a fucking great level and Disney could do no wrong. They are retarded. They're still retarded. They're still going to be retarded no matter how much truth you give them. They're going to believe whatever the fuck they want to believe. So just let them get roasted to oblivion. That's ultimately the only way you can fix this. Dumb people are going to continue to believe dumb things, and no amount of community notes is going to fix stupidity.
Yeah, but sometimes you have these viral posts where people aren't getting obliterated. They're not getting ratioed.
But
people
smart enough people realize it. But smart people figure it out.
But smart people think that it's authoritative and it gets fucking spread around by people.
You're saying that my conversation or your conversation, and by the way, I've never been community noted. But you're saying that our conversations should be interrupted because dumb motherfuckers can't understand shit.
Interrupted?
Yes.
In what way is our conversation being interrupted?
I have never been community noted, but Az has been community noted multiple times now, and he's had to appeal it and overturn.
And his conversation was interrupted?
Yeah, a community note.
What does that mean?
A community note destroys whatever point you are trying to make, regardless of what the community note says. It destroys what is being said in your tweet. It destroys it because the moment it gets community noted, it's already distracted. It's like an asterisk next to it. And I don't know how many times Az has been community noted, but it's multiple times now. And I think he's had to appeal them and they've had them removed. Why does he need to go through the action of clarifying his own statement? Why? It's his fucking statement. Why should he have to go through the actions of saying, no, what I said was right? That's bullshit. He should never have to do that. No one should have to do that.
Yeah, I personally think, like I said, I don't think it's 100% accurate, but I think the idea of just dismissing something and wanting just like because it doesn't provide 100% accuracy and just dismissing something offhand, even if it does way more good than harm, I think is fucking retarded. I think it's stupid.
I think giving people the option, the individuals, that type of power is a huge red flag moving forward, and it will fall into the wrong hands, and eventually it will destroy this platform. It will destroy it.
Okay.
But anyway,
Stephen Wasik for 20. Everyone became members on Geeks and Gamers Play, so we control MCU fan with Krista emojis there. Steiner Math also has some bombshell he's holding over him. Still can't believe Discord has not totally wrecked him. Regardless, let the salt flow.
Y'all are so happy MCU fans in Discord. So MCU fan is in Discord. He's in every one of our chats. Clearly one of the biggest fans, and I'm okay with that. But I haven't seen MCU fan in Discord yet. I'll have to check that out.
Let's see. Joseph for 20. Value of community notes. It appends correction directly to false statements.
Say what now?
Value of community notes. It appends correction directly to false statements.
I mean, it does. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I've praised it enough too, but overall, I wish it didn't exist.
Tomac for 50. If you're looking for some games to play, there's Remnant 2. I bet your team would love to help you out with the DLC coming out.
I've heard a lot of people say Remnant 2 is really good.
I have as well, but I haven't really seen anybody play
I don't even know what the basis of it is.
What type of game it is or anything.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But thank you for the $50 super chat, Tomac. Magnum Norse for 10. Ryan, please come back to TNME. It's an awkward mess without you. Hey, sometimes we need a little awkward mess.
Right. That's right.
Thank you, Magnum. Bruce for 10. Seeing Ryan as Black Panther makes me feel represented in Wakanda. I'm just trying to make sure everyone can see themselves as any superhero.
Remnant looks fucking awesome.
Mr. Jandra for 2 says, hail. Hail. Tobias Nexus, welcome to the 199. You probably just renewed the membership. And then for 2 months says, don't know how well my network could handle it, but I'd love to host a stream with G&G playing Starship Troopers Extermination if possible.
Yeah, I meant to try to play that one when it came out. Everybody was talking about it. And, you know, Starship Troopers is such a legendary. I still don't know why Starship Troopers, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about this. I feel like should be far more iconic and popular than it is. And it is iconic and popular. It is. But I think the fact that it's rated R is one of the reasons it didn't hit that mainstream or mass appeal back in the day, because it was rated R. I love Starship Troopers, man. Cheesy as hell. And so I'm glad that that people are enjoying the game.
Great Con for 5. We'd all better go over to those shield channels and call them all losers and bigots and haters for saying Disney's turned to crap.
That's right.
Tobias Nexus for 5. The only fix is the Batman strategy. Stop for a few years, let it all settle down, pass on, make new version with different actors.
They can't do that, though. That's the whole thing. Like, none of these studios can stop for a couple of years. They can't afford it.
Their business model isn't built on that.
They cannot afford to.
Well, to be fair, like, neither is ours, right? Like, if we were like, hey, just stop. Hey, listen, people are a little bit tired of Geeks and Gamers Daily. Let's just stop everything we're doing for like 3 years. We'll come back to it.
Yeah. Well, it could be for them, though. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, it could be. It's when there's too much of something, it's like, again, Mario Kart is a classic example. You know, Call of Duty could do what Mario Kart does. They could, they won't, but they could. But that's why so many people are kind of burnt out on that. But even with Call of Duty, they could survive with their annualized releases if that's what they wanted to do, but they don't change anything about it. It's why Madden died off. So, like, Madden, when's the last time you played a Madden, Ryan?
Well, you can say it died off, but they still make a fuck ton of money on it. Like,
yeah,
they make a obscene amount of money off Madden. Well, it still is always one of the best-selling games. Like,
same with Call of Duty. They make a shit ton on it too.
Right,
but it's like
right, exactly. So it's hard to. It's hard to criticize them for being as fucking lazy when they're continuing to get rewarded for it, right?
It's very
Marvel's at the point where they're seeing diminishing returns to the point where it's not worth it to them anymore, where they have to change things. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like, look what Fortnite's doing right now. I mean, I can't wait for this weekend to play the OG map, and it's like their fan base is energized, constantly energized, whereas Call of Duty's, it seems like the fan base is never energized, but the revenue is still there. It's going to break every fucking record when Modern Warfare 3 comes out. So yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
But we got to talk about another part of this article though, because like we said, so many bombshells were dropped in this Variety article. But maybe one of the funniest was that it sounds like Kevin Feige's been borrowing the Pander Stone from Kathleen Kennedy. Because if I were to tell you, Jeremy, that we're going to make a Blade movie, but it's not going to be about Blade. It's actually going to be about a group of women. You would think that that's just a meme. Oh, you're just fucking making that up. Oh, you're thinking it's going to go MCU. No, that's actually the case. The Blade movie's been a disaster. It's been through 5 different writers, 2 different directors, been entirely built from the ground up script-wise yet again. And Marshall Ali was threatening to leave the production. And now we're starting to understand why. Because in the middle of this article, we actually get a little bit of information on why he was so upset. One person familiar with the Blade script changes said the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons, with Mahershala Ali's Blade relegated to the 4th lead.
God, dude.
How is this possible? A Blade movie. You're like, hey guys, we're bringing back Blade. We're getting a fucking Oscar-winning actor to like come in and do Blade. Or I don't know if he's Oscar or Academy Award. Either way, like we're getting an award-winning actor, Mahershala Ali, to come in and be Blade. And he's going to be the 4th most important character in his own movie. And it's going to be all about women.
And he's an awesome actor. He is an awesome actor. He has screen presence. I don't know if I ever saw him as a lead, but he definitely has screen presence about him. And I don't know if I was excited about this because I'm such a big fan of the Blade with Wesley Snipes, the Blade films. But regardless, he's a solid actor. He's a really good actor. He has really good screen presence. And now you've basically taken this and you've ruined it. And now it's like, it's the meme. And Jay sent the meme out the other day, just put a chick in it and make her lame and gay. And that is, we are at a point now where everything is a meme. Everything with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a meme. And the fact that this is, women filled with life lessons. Good Lord, man.
What the fuck?
How the fuck has this happened? How have we gotten to this point? We've gotten to this point because Marvel has pandered to the lowest common denominator, the bunch of freak weirdos with pronouns in their bio. And you've hired a lot of these weirdos. And Kevin Feige, I really, what we need, Ryan, there was a lot of anticipation with Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk, and this MMA style fight, I guess they were going to have or whatever. I need to see Kevin Feige versus Dave Filoni to see who is the biggest soy boy in Hollywood, because Kevin Feige has been completely cucked at his own, in his own company, basically. Like, he's been overrun by these activists.
Well, I think he is an activist.
Well, he is, but like
this is the guy. Remember, in 2008, this isn't new. In 2018, Kevin Feige said that the goal for the Marvel Cinematic Universe was to tell more diverse stories. That the goal was to have more female heroes and villains than male. That's what he said back in 2018, and he has achieved that goal to the detriment of the entire company.
I mean, regardless of how you feel about Feige or Filoni, both of them did have they had pretty decent success. Obviously, Kevin Feige's success is
they were part of successful things.
So, right, but they were leading it. And you're seeing who they really are now. I think J.J. Abrams falls into that camp as well. J.J. Abrams showed that he had no backbone or spine whatsoever, and he's willing to kind of cuck to whatever the powers that be want. And this is kind of how our culture has kind of found its way into this area too, because we need strong men to be leading, and these beta males just continue to be elevated in these positions, and they cuck at the first sign of some woman pretending to be offended over something. And it's like, no, we cannot have that. And these quote unquote men, if you want to try to call them that, are just embarrassing beyond belief. And yeah, I mean, it is so sad to see where the MCU was and where it's at now. And I think leadership does matter, and bad leadership or failed leadership has gotten us to this position in so many different areas. Just like Gina Carano's tweet mentioned about leadership, and bad leadership is really at the cause of all of this.
Yeah, but remember, I mean, Ike Perlmutter was a part of everything that was going on with the MCU as well for quite some time until Kevin Feige went to Bob Iger and got Ike Perlmutter removed from any type of involvement. They split everything off to Marvel Studios versus like Marvel proper and all this other shit. So like along the way, he was able to garner more power over something that he was not like the sole creative force behind in the beginning, right? When it was like taking off, when it was building all this momentum. And then once he got everything he wanted in total and complete control, it's almost been fucking downhill since then. Since his like true agenda was actually established. But anyway, like let's look at this really quick. For the Blade reboot, the project has gone through 5 writers, 2 directors, and 1 shutdown 6 weeks before production. Jeez. One person familiar with the script says the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to the 4th lead, a bizarre idea, considering the studio had 2-time Oscar winner Ali on board. Amid reports that he was ready to exit, Feige went back to the drawing board and hired Michael Green, the nominated writer of Logan, to start anew. It's now slated for 2025, and they're looking to make it for less than $100 million, which, I mean, this is something they definitely need to look into doing more of, right? Yes. Getting these budgets down. But that seems wild at this point to imagine doing a movie like that for $100 million for Marvel, but who knows? You know what they can't do, though? They can't cancel it. It's impossible for them to cancel this film because of how hard they virtue signaled, right? There's no way you could do all this pomp and circumstance announcing a black characters movie like this and then cancel it, because this is the current iteration of the MCU. There's no way they could ever do something like that.
I kind of feel like they can cancel this one. I feel like they can. I'm not saying they will, but it's been in production hell for so long, and I don't feel that there's any real anticipation for this movie. The only people that talk about it are people like us that are just roasting it. You know what I mean? I don't feel that there's any real, but I say your point stands, obviously, because if they cancel a movie with a black lead, then it just opens up the floodgates for all the fucking weirdos that they pandered to. You know what I mean? So your point stands. But I just look at it as this movie, it just, like Black Panther 2 could not have been canceled under any circumstance, you know what I mean, because of what they did with Black Panther 1 and everything like that, you know. But I feel like Blade, I feel like they could get away with canceling Blade. I do. I don't know how far into it they are at this point.
Like, I think it would be a good idea for them to do that, right?
Yeah.
But their public, same way it would be a good thing to cancel Snow White. Yeah. But like the public perception, what they've done in terms of virtue signaling to woke lunatics for this company, I think it's an impossible situation for them to do. I don't think they're willing to do it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Same reason they didn't cancel Echo, because they virtue signaled about a indigenous, deaf, disabled person. Like, we're so proud to be making a movie or making a show like this. You can't fucking cancel it, can you?
Yeah.
Because you made it all about everything else.
And you get what you deserve. I personally hope Blade comes out just so we can roast it and talk bad about it. And but I don't know. So you think there's 0 chance that they would cancel this movie? 0 chance.
Well, I think if it hasn't happened yet, it won't. Like, I think the opportunity to do it was there.
Yeah.
Obviously. But you had your lead actor ready to walk away. You've gone through 5 different writers, 2 different directors. Like,
I wonder if, man, there's no way Disney didn't know this article wasn't coming out. We know that, okay? The Variety article. Would you agree with that? There's no way. Like, Disney, they had to know. Like,
you would imagine that they knew there was like something coming down.
Yeah, I would imagine that they knew that this article was coming out.
They have enough people that work very closely with them.
Yes, absolutely.
Knew, hey, there's something in the works, but who knows when they knew it, when it would drop. Right. It's obviously been in the works for a while.
I'm looking at this article and how damning this article is. I'm looking at how now Gina Carano is calling him out. Obviously, the South Park situation. And these things are not directly tied together, but they're indirectly tied together. But I'm looking at all that. And then depending on how bad the Marvels fails, because I think it's almost a given that the Marvels is going to fail. It's just a matter of how much is it going to fail at this point. How much money is it going to lose? What is the absolute in your opinion, Ryan, what is the absolute lowest that it could do?
Like 300 million.
Shit. Now, hypothetically, if it does 300 million worldwide, hypothetically, and then you add everything else that's been going on, then you have this 4.5 month gap for Disney having nothing going on. When's the next Marvel project after the Marvels coming out, set to release, whether it's TV or movies? What's the next project after that?
I think the Loki finale comes out on the same day as the Marvels releasing in theaters.
And then after that,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the next thing is.
While you're looking
Echo will come out in like January or February.
And that's binge, right? They've already decided to binge that. So
they've already decided because they don't want people talking about it for longer than a week. So they're just going to drop the entire thing and get it over with.
So let's kind of ignore Echo because they've already taken the L on that one. Okay. And it's already a done deal. So after the Marvels comes out, let's say the Marvels does $300 to $350 million, which is pretty much the absolute lowest that it can do, which will lose it hundreds of millions of dollars and officially become the biggest failure probably ever in the MCU. With everything going on, do you think that with this big gap, because you're still looking it up, we don't even know when the next project coming out yet.
So it's because we really are unclear. Right now, the next thing on the schedule officially, because I don't think it's officially been moved yet, is Deadpool. But there's no way they get it done by May.
Well, I think we all know Deadpool will be a massive success, but that has nothing to do with the MCU.
Right.
In terms of we know why Deadpool is going to be huge. You know what I mean?
So a lot of the rumors out there are that the Captain America 4 Brave New World is going to probably take that release date. Because there's just not much of a chance. I don't think people really think there's a chance in hell that Deadpool's going to be done because the actor strike isn't done yet. They still have to fucking film the movie. Like they're in the middle of filming. We saw the shit of fucking Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, like behind the scenes footage that they wanted out there to get people excited for it. They were still doing that when the actor strike happened. So
my point being is I was questioning, like, is it possible that they could seriously blow this whole damn thing up based on the fact that so much is in production hell because of the strikes? So much has been stalled. Could they blow this whole thing up if the Marvels does $300 million worldwide? Could they blow the whole damn thing up at that point and just go, we need to scrap everything or at least repurpose everything that's going on and really start to rebuild this from the ground up to the best of our ability? I can't, because
I personally think that they are already betting that the Marvels are going to fail. Like they have to know internally that it's going to fail.
That's why I said 300 million though. Like, because if it hits the bottom of the fucking barrel, like, because yes, if it's, I think safe numbers puts it like 450, you know, or something like that. It's probably 450 is probably where it could end up, and that's a little more comfortable for them, even though it's a loss. But if it hits 300 million worldwide,
I think their plan is to go with what they've got. They do have a lot of things that they've already filmed, like Ironheart, Agatha, like all this stuff that's going to be trickling out. I think they're committed to this and maybe fixing it in Secret Wars, but that's not till like 2026 or whatever.
Gary just community noted you and said, Black Falcon Captain America is finished.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of people think that that's going to take the release date of Deadpool, because they just don't think Deadpool is going to be ready.
Yeah.
That's got Harrison Ford in it, by the way. It's going to be Red Hulk.
And Brave New World is such a terrible fucking title, dude.
Well, you remember what it was before that?
Well, no, it was even worse, wasn't it? No.
New World Order.
Oh no, that was a lot better. Bring the NWO back, baby, for life, dude. I wish it would have. I will show up to watch Captain America: New World Order with my NWO T-shirt on. Let's go.
Let's see, $50 super chat from Disco Cobra. Let us not forget when Marvel was starting out with Blade movies. I don't think we would even have an MCU without the success of those. Heck, even movies like X-Men, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man jump-started MCU to the grand scheme of things. Well, certainly, like, the Blade movies are fucking awesome.
They are awesome. I think the X-Men and Spider-Man had a lot more to do with the future of comic book movies, though. I loved Blade. I mean, I probably outside of Spider-Man 2, I'd probably prefer Blade 1 over any of those movies in that era.
I think
But
that Spider-Man 2 box office is probably like what made everybody be like, whoa.
Honestly, I think Spider-Man 1's box office. Spider-Man 1's box office was stupid. Spider-Man 1 did more opening weekend than Spider-Man 2. Slightly. I think Spider-Man 2 did more in the long run, but opening weekend, Spider-Man 1, I believe, did more opening weekend than Spider-Man 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, both of them. Well, they
both crushed. Yeah,
so Spider-Man made 821, Spider-Man 2 made 800, Spider-Man 3 made 894.
Yeah,
they all like made the same.
Insane.
Yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man
did like 700, right?
750 and 700.
Yep.
I actually rewatched those movies the other day.
I've never seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I've always was anti Andrew Garfield Spider-Man until No Way Home, and totally redeemed himself there. But I'm a Toby is my Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2 may never be topped. May never be topped for a Spider-Man movie. I love that movie so much. But Spider-Man 1 is really like, honestly, Spider-Man 2 is so good. Spider-Man 1 tends to get overlooked. Spider-Man 1 is fucking fantastic. It's so comic booky as well, dude. It's just so damn good.
It is. It's just like, it is awkward to see like 35-year-old Tobey Maguire in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
Spider-Man 3, I've only seen Spider-Man 3 one time, and that was opening night, and I've never seen it again. I think now I would watch it and find a lot of enjoyment out of it, but I did not like it the first time I watched it.
All right. Let's get through some of these super chats because I have to eat, and then I'm actually going to be on another stream. I'm going to be on with Quartering in about an hour.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be on. He's been... Quartering fucking sends me like this fucking generic invite. It's like, hey, and I was like, did you just fucking copy and paste me, motherfucker? Like, you could just ask me. And he's like, yeah, I did. And so I think I'm going to be on with him in a couple weeks. So shout out to the Quartering.
Yeah, so I'm going to be on his YouTube and Rumble in about an hour from now. So let me get through some of these super chats. Jack Hudson with the gifted membership. Thank you. Sleazy, member for 14 months. Can we get off politics or not? I don't think we got too far in.
Not too far.
Project Taco for 5. I have a small orange spotted hamster named Chorizo. Should I wait for it to die before getting a tattoo of it? I mean, I wouldn't get a tattoo of it either way. I'd pass on that.
What kind of question is that?
I don't know. Carol Lynn, member for 7 months, says boop. Thank you. Great con for 2. Ironheart with Girl Boss Robert Downey Jr. if he ever returned. Yeah, he's gonna return to like hand over the mantle. Like that's probably what would happen if they bring him back. Mike Hill for 5. Did y'all check out the teaser for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? I saw it was out, but I haven't looked at it.
I haven't looked at it. that super chat still got me.
I have a small orange spotted hamster named Chorizo. Should I wait for it to die before getting a tattoo of it? I would say because you never know, that hamster might do something to fuck up its life or fuck your life up. So I would wait. Andrew Worden, a member for 8 months. MCU fans says all super chats mentioning Krista must be community noted. Ronan the Crusader for 5. Considering all the bad news for Disney, I'm going to make a bet Godzilla -1 is going to do gangbusters in comparison to the Marvels. I don't even know how big a release that's getting, but yeah.
I bet the comments on this one be like, Ryan's sick of Jeremy's shit. The daily's going to end. I was just complimenting Ryan take a 3-year break. I was just complimenting Ryan. Did you hear my compliments of you on CobraCast?
What'd you say?
Yeah, I was talking about like DeSantis and Trump and how like DeSantis has terrible advisors. People around him just aren't keeping him informed, you know? And I was like, you got to have people you trust. I was like, Ryan has been a blessing. Like, Ryan keeps me out of so many terrible situations on the internet since I've got to know him. Like, he pays attention to shit that I would never, ever pay attention to. You know what I mean? And then as the channel's grown, as, you know, everything's happened, like I'll talk to him. He's like, don't. I'm like, why? And he like goes on this like 5 or 10 minute lore. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's all a thing? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, how do you know these things? Like Ryan always keeps me out of a lot of bad situations.
I know
So,
too many things.
he knows way too much shit. It's kind of scary. It really is.
Andy plays games. Remember for 4 months, MCU fan should change his name to Krista Enjoyer. 100% accurate. Eric K for 5. Ryan, ask your girl Bree to play party animals. I should. That'd be fun. Duke of Bad Dogs. I was told not to mention MCU fan in this message, but I forgot. Tobias Nexus for 5. Outside of Marvel or Lucasfilm, what was the last film Disney made that broke $1 billion? Zootopia did back in 2016, but I can't recall another one. Frozen 2.
Do you want to call
Lion King, Aladdin?
Yeah. Do you want to call Avatar
like 2019? They had like a fuck ton, but
yeah, Lion King made like $1.6 billion. Like
Mhm.
it's kind of stupid how much that movie made. It's that's the fall of the society right there. Like the Lion King making 1.6 billion means faith in humanity has been lost forever.
And Avatar as well, but obviously
Yeah.
that's the 20th Century Fox thing that got bought by them. So
Yep.
Filthy Casual for 5. The Ahsoka show helped my channel go from 60 subs to 130 the last couple months. Thanks, Filoni. Keep up
Nice.
the good work, guys. You're welcome. Mr. John Druff for 2. I'll be watching Ryan on the quartering. Thank you. Center Negative for 5. This highlights the difference between YouTubers like Geeks and Gamers and mainstream. You guys are pointing out fire hazards and saying that house might burn down. The mainstream media is pointing at a burned down house and saying somebody should have done something about that before it was too late. Thank you, Center Negative. Atomic Patriot for 2. Lizzo got represented in Mario Wonder. That's what I'm saying. Agent X for 2. One more day till OG Fortnite. Where are we dropping?
Yes, Tilted Towers, baby. I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. All day Saturday, I'll be probably playing Fortnite until the Bama LSU game. But that'll be on Geeks Gamers Live Play. Geeks Gamers Play. So I'll be over there.
Colesia for 5. Final Fantasy 16 is the game of the year. I destroyed all team almost as bad as Gina destroyed Kathleen Bitchface Kennedy. Hail the 199.
Hail.
Thank you. Jack Hudson for 2. Thank you, Jack. Project Taco for 2. Ryan just live community noted Jeremy. Thank you. Desirius for 2. Remnant 2 is Dark Souls with guns.
It looks awesome.
Japanese Demon Lord Abir Lucifer for 2. No Eskimo representation in Black Panther. Sad. It is sad. Stephen Wasik for 5. Jeremy, remind MCU fan Eternals lost money. Shang-Chi was a snore. Thor 4 was a snore. And the Marvels is DOA. And he's a massive Krista simp. Hey, MCU fan, all those things. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 199. Community notes will be a shit show come elections. I think all social media will be. 100%.
It's going to be rough, bro. It's going to be rough.
Black Lives or Black Cavils or Black Cavils for 199. Here's a supercharge mentioning MCU fan. He loves it. Project Taco for 2. MCU fan eats corn the long way with his moose knuckle. Mr. Sophistication for 25. The Marvels is a genre you don't want anything to do with. Stephen Wasik for 5. What do Disney, Echo, and MCU fan all have in common? They're incapable of listening to anyone. That's good. Ozymandias for 2. Quadriplegic man win. That's the next hero. The Black Blur for 5. To be honest, the movie should have been called Black Captain America for January 6th. Hail the 199. Oh, Black Captain America 4. Commander Keen for 420. Can you shut up my hamster? He's called Hamma. Fuck your hamster. Operation 1 for 6. Good evening from Israel, you guys. Thank you, Operation 1. Yo Pops for 5. Speaking of Ryan, can you just have Ryan read super chats on CobraCast from now on? He can actually read. Dimio Pachi, member for 7 months. Ryan knows everything. Just look at his forehead. Yeah, that's why it's so big. I got a lot of fucking knowledge.
Ryan does have a live stream on Sundays. He does.
That's true. You guys, yeah, you can hear me read super chats there if anyone would send me any. We're all caught up.
We are all caught up. So you got High Tea over on Drunk 3PO's channel, and you can go check that out. High Tea with Beardo and Drunk 3PO. And then you got Fear the Beardo playing I think Resident Evil 4 today on Geeks Gamers Play. Then we've got the member stream later tonight here on the main channel. You got Ryan going on with the quartering. So you got a lot of stuff to watch today. A lot indeed. So we really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We even got an argument and didn't lose viewers this time, Ryan. We didn't lose viewers on that argument. Can you believe that one?
No, I can't. That's crazy.
Yeah, we usually lose a few hundred, and this time they just stayed. So I don't know, maybe because they were like, just get back to Marvel, please, please, please. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Love you, chat, and I hope you enjoy all of the entertainment you got for the day. Whether it's quartering, whether it's high tea, whether it's Resident Evil 4 or our member stream, which I guess tonight's member stream will be the last time we're playing this map for Fortnite, because the new map drops tomorrow, so that'd be pretty cool. So all right, guys, have a good day. And and you got G&G tabletop today as well. You got a lot to choose from. So all right, guys, have a good day, and we'll talk to you.
Fictitious Days Savage for 2. Marvel reboot makes Tony and Cap jilted ex-lovers.
There you go.
Maybe.
There you go. All right, have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.